disheartening.
I'm
Like I,
sorry.
that's okay. Like I've, been doing it, but I think because social media is so huge, you have billions of people on social media day to day. I think there's definitely room for the quote unquote newbies to get on there and then have their own space and develop their own customers and client base and engagement. And the good thing about it is you can reach people all over the world who may be interested in the product or service that you have. So yes, you have people that may have the same product or service as you, but nobody is you. Like nobody does it the way you would do it.
Right.
So, just because you can connect with people much differently than somebody else can that sells the same product or service. So I'm definitely encouraging anybody who have not, been on social media and who are new to, the field and new to getting themselves out there online to do it because you have now more than ever, you have more people online looking for connections and looking for ways to support Black owned businesses. That's a big push now. And so they want to see who's out there and who they can support. So yeah, I definitely think that it's a good time to do it. It's always been a good time, but for now more than ever, it's a great time to do it.
Okay, thank you, Brooke, for that information, for the encouraging. So if anyone is out there thinking about diving on social media, now is the time to do it. So I'm going to take a moment to read Brooke's bio so that you guys know who she is and what she represents. Brooks is a New Orleans native. Yay, hometown girl. All right, she's a New Orleans native that is committed to becoming a catalyst for advancement of communities and families in New Orleans and surrounding areas. With professional experience in marketing, real estate, community, and economic development, she possesses a unique blend of expertise gained from working in diverse capacities with both the client and the agent. Brooks is owner and director of marketing and strategy with Duplessis Digital Production LLC, a strategic marketing and branding, digital and social media strategy consultancy. The consultancy specializes in digital and social media marketing, content creation, and trends. Duplessis Digital has industry experience in marketing financial institutions, hospitals, real estate brokerage, and chambers of commerce. Brooks has received a Bachelor's of Arts degree in Business Administration and a concentration in marketing from Xavier University of Louisiana, and then went on to receive her Master's of Business Administration from UNO. So Brooks is definitely a hometown girl. We appreciate her learning in the city and then teaching in the city and just remaining here. So she is homegrown, and so we appreciate you, Brooks.
Thank you so much. I'm not going nowhere. I'm gonna be
Oh,
here my
no.
whole life.
Yes, yes, yes. I'm so excited. So our next question is for Miss Kitty. Yay, she's up. I mean, this is the fun part, guys. If you ever want to have fun and mess with your friends and coworkers, have a live meeting and then don't tell them what it's going to be about. That's the fun part. All right. So Kitty, the question for you, the main question for the hour: why do I need a book for me if I'm a small business owner?
Well, especially entrepreneurs, all entrepreneurs, all entrepreneurs need a book. Okay, and because the book is going to help you to get attention. And that's what you want. You want attention for your product or for your service, right? And so it's, when I say that you want attention, I'm not talking about attention in the everyone look at me sense, right? I'm talking about the attention that says that you have what a person needs, right? Because it all starts with attention. And so with the book, you can show them how your product or service benefits them, right? So, and when you show them that it benefits, that your product or service benefits them, this is going to lead them to make a purchase or to make an appointment, like you do taxes and consultation or whatever it is. even if you have a service, you want them to know that you are able to help them. Because even if you have a book, let me say this, because some people say, well, if I write the book and I'm giving them information, then they're not going to need me. But that's not the truth, because what they're going to find out is their time is so precious that they need somebody else to do this for them. And I am going to go with the person who has the expertise in this, you know, because after reading your book, hopefully in your book, you're writing something that's definitely going to benefit them. But after them reading that, they're going to say, well, before I go to someone else, I'm going to go to this person because I have their book. I understand what they're talking about. They know what they're talking about. So every entrepreneur definitely needs a book.
All right. All right. So I'm going to take and read Miss Kitty's bio as well. Kitty has published 7 books, including 2 children's books, received a certification from the IAO to write storybooks for children. She and guys, I wrote the bio, so forgive the typo. She did not. She is probably having a fit. I did this maybe about 15 minutes ago. So charge it to me. And Kitty, you know, don't take me off the Christmas list, I promise. I'll do it time. Right. She is recognized as a National Poetry Association and is featured in the book entitled Eternal Poetry Series. She was selected as suggested artist for songwriter and honorary mention for Christian lyrics with VH1 in 2005 and again in 2006. Her book, Root Ready, is currently making waves, making history, and transforming lives. Kitty's Root Ready book was written as a tool to help you form and maintain healthy relationships while boosting a greater confidence in God and with one another. Marriage can take you on a remarkable journey if you open yourself up to the right resources. So interesting. Don't go anywhere. I'm sure we're going to have a ton of questions for you because you said the word marriage, you said relationship. You know, hey, we got to talk back with you as well. So don't go anywhere.
Before you move forward, before you move forward, I keep getting this thing popped up about the waiting room. So there's some people trying to get in.
Okay. All right. Thank you. I'm going to let them in. And now let's take a moment and do that. So while I'm letting them in, let's hear from Dr. Catrina Pullum. We are going to her first question. So right off the back, what is a publicist?
So what is a publicist? Somebody who they think can work miracles. I'm going to say from my standpoint of how we do business is that I have been described as the Kerry Washington from Scandal. That's how our PR firm has been described because we do a lot with crisis management as well. So what is a publicist? A lot of people think they need a publicist when they don't. They may need a consultant. And so if you're working, and I'm going to say for this platform, mostly everyone on here is an entrepreneur, or even if they have their own brand as a speaker, just because you've done a couple of events or you sold a couple of thousand worth of dollars in your product doesn't mean that you need to waste your money on a publicist. You may need a consultant, but once you get to that level where you're in the public more and you're actually doing things, the publicist is there to help you secure the bag. The publicist is there to help you package your brand, to be able to tell your story. And so that's what I do on a daily basis, is create stories for my clients, for their personal brands, to tell the story and sell them to the media, for radio interviews, for television interviews, as well as getting them prepared to speak on different levels in different places. And so making sure that before you talk to anybody, you have to talk to your publicist. Before you make any type of statement, you have to talk to your publicist. Another thing that a publicist does is prepare you to speak in person. Any crisis that may happen. Some clients, we do their crisis management. So if a crisis take place, a lot of our clients are already trained. Have you talked to Dr. Pullum? Have you talked to somebody from my PR firm? Other than that, is no comment. So a publicist is really there to protect you at all times and is your spokesperson
Okay,
to make
great.
sure you look good and your brand looks good.
Yes, don't go anywhere. I have a list of questions for you guys. It was very interesting, some of the questions that people asked. And I was like, okay, you learn a lot just from listening to the questions. So this is going to be very interesting. Dr. Catrina Pullum, I'm going to read her bio as well. Dr. Pullum has been called a transformer, the chain breaker, and a visionary. Her life mission is to help women walk into their purpose. She is a woman who creates, ignites, and influences others to unleash and to embrace their power. Dr. Pullum has an inline presence that compels people to stop allowing limits placed on them to hinder their growth toward becoming that they have been destined to be. As a producer, she creates a platform for women to share their stories of triumph through the arts. Dr. Pullum serves as the president of Full Court Media and Business Consulting Group and the chief creative officer of go ahead and pronounce that for me, Dr. Trina.
Go ahead. I'm about to laugh. My husband is on the line. He says it better than me, but why is this so funny to me? Puissance Masons Productions. We always stick to our Creole roots because I'm originally from New Orleans. My husband is from Baton Rouge, and so in French, it means powerhouse.
All right, powerhouse. I like that, powerhouse. All right, Dr. Pullum is a champion for change who works diligently to advocate on the behalf of sexual assault, human trafficking, and domestic violence survivors on a national platform. We definitely appreciate you for that, Dr. Pullum. Dr. Pullum has been featured in Essence, O and Black Enterprise magazine, to name a few. Dr. Pullum has received honors from President Barack Obama, Congress members, state representatives, and others. Dr. Pullum's work has included working with Lifetime Television Surviving, R. Kelly, docu-series, Now You See National Campaign, Just Us Organization, Junior League, Women in Film, RAIN, and etc. Through her philanthropic endeavor, Dr. Pullum is making a global impact through her active board membership for various charitable organizations such as hip hop legend and philanthropist MC Light, which is one of my favorite rap artists, MC Light, Hip Hop Sisters Foundation, Center for Empowerment for Families and Youth. She's the board chair for that organization. Vice president of the board for Lift Ladies in Film and Television, and she is on the board of directors for Target, Evolution, and a few others. So we definitely appreciate you being here with us on today, and let Attorney Sean know that at any time he can unmute himself and save us. Make sure we don't do say or do anything that we shouldn't, so he can chime in and let us know. So let's go ahead and get started. Before we bring up our next question, I want to give you guys just a brief overview of why we're here. It is a part of the AK Legacy Foundation. We're here to bring awareness to this charity, and I'll talk a little bit more about exactly what it is that we do toward the end, after we've given our panelists a chance to answer some of our questions and to go forward from there. So let's dive right into the next question. I will check to make sure to see if there's anyone else waiting. I've already unlocked the waiting room. I'm not sure, like I said, things happen, everything happens for a reason, so no need to panic. But I wanna make sure that everyone gets a chance to get on. So if you have a question, don't forget to put it in the chat because I am reading through to make sure that we don't leave anybody out. So our next question is going to be for Kitty Arceneaux. In regards to writing a book, the person says, can I do an autobiography if I'm not famous?
Yeah, of course you can do an autobiography if you're not famous. Autobiographies are not just for famous people. Autobiographies is basically like a legacy type thing. Everybody has a story to tell. Some people just think that other people's story is more important because they're famous, when, you know, that's not the case. You can also do, they have the autobiographies, and then they have the memoirs, where you may not include like a whole lot of stuff. From the memoir is where you're just kind of discussing certain parts of your life, where your autobiography might get into more detail, but most definitely you can write an autobiography and not be famous.
Okay. And I got this next question. That'll be a two-part question for Kitty and for Dr. Catrina, because I just saw in your bio that you advocate for sexual abuse victim. So one of the questions we get a lot, and this person did not disclose their name, but if, you know, if need be, I'll reach out to make sure that there's no other reason why they act. When telling your story, and it may cause upset in the family, if you was a victim of domestic violence or if you was a victim of a sexual assault, is it okay to disclose that without getting everybody's permission? So we'll let Ms. Kitty go first, and then Dr. Trina, you can piggyback off of that.
I would say, not, what I would do is, because somebody may not give you the permission to do so. I've had somebody to actually, they wrote a book. Well, they're in the process of writing a book, and that was the case. There was sexual abuse within the family. And so what she did, what I advised her to do was to go and talk to the family and say, hey, I'm writing this book, and I'm going to tell my entire story. I'm going to tell about the abuse that was, you know, projected onto me when I was a kid. And I'm just, if you're not giving me permission to do that, I'm just letting you know that I am gonna go forward and do it. And so, and what she did was she had a family meeting, the persons that were involved, because her mom didn't know about the situation. And so she did that. And even though the person still denied doing it in front of everybody, she still decided to go forward with it. They know that she's writing this book. They just don't want to admit to the crime that they committed, even though they actually served some time for it and things like that. So you may not necessarily get permission. And if you're really that uncomfortable, you can always use other names besides the person, you know, that actually did the abuse.
Okay. Dr. Trina, what's your take on it? Oh, my apologies. All right.
I agree with Kitty. I know in my first solo project book that I did, I wasn't abused by a family member. I was abused by someone in the church. And so I didn't mention any names or anything, and it's best because you don't, you, first of all, you know, you want to be able to get your feelings out there, but you don't want to set yourself up for a lawsuit. And so I always advise people to use a different name, or, you know, tell the story from a third party point of view, but don't fix it where it's obvious, where people can figure out, because anything can transpire and take place, and you don't want the liability, the legal liability, to come back on you. But I do believe in, if you've been hurt and this is your way of healing, is to tell your story. And so for me, I told my story to the point of not describing who the person was, but what their position was in the church. And no one never asked anything besides my family, because my family didn't know. And so they wanted to know why I didn't say anything. But everybody, I was nervous about putting the book out, but the book was taken very well. So
Great, awesome, awesome. So Brooks, as a social media person, I know a lot of times we get the rules or don't post any negativity, it could hinder your business. So what is the fine line? How do we separate the business from the personal? Or how do we take a stance on advocating for something without taking a social media hit against our business?
So I always advise that you have a personal page and you have a business page. Definitely keep the two separate. Though on your business page, you can share some personal things and personal beliefs, because ultimately that's how you're going to connect with people and with your audience. Because that's, people do business with people that they like and that they trust and that they have connections with. So if, for instance, the situation that's happening with, Black Lives Matter and the young man that just got, killed recently, a lot of people are sharing things about, Black men and kneeling and protesting against what's going on. And I think if you have strong feelings about it, it is definitely okay to share. And if you have an opinion about it, it's definitely okay to share, because you're going to connect with a bunch of people who may not have, seen your business or seen you before. But I will say you should be prepared to, if somebody, comments or engages with you, you should be prepared to engage back with them, because it's not a bad idea to share negative things, but it's always important to not go silent, like say one thing and then you don't have anything else to say. So, because, people, that social media is social, so people are gonna, come after you and say their opinions as well. And so if you're a bigger company that, us as like solopreneurs or small businesses, really it's more of solopreneurs. You can you have maybe a little more freedom in expressing your opinions. But when you get into bigger businesses and kind of small businesses, maybe over, like if you have like employees and over like 10 people, I would kind of steer clear of negative, comments and things, because that could eventually show your business in a negative light. So there is a very fine line. Also, it's the industry you're in. So if you're a nonprofit, or if you advocate for, women who've been abused, and there's a story about a woman getting abused, or you have opinions on it, definitely, I would advise sharing and showing your opinion and showing that you're a leader in the space. So it's a very fine line, but you ultimately you do what you're comfortable with, and just be prepared to respond and to just have a dialogue about whatever you're saying.
And so with that, when mentioned that Brooks mentioned being prepared for backlash, Dr. Trina, give us one of your top secrets on dealing with backlash. What is one of the first things that we can consider?
Considering happening or just backlash? Here, how do I deal with the
like if we posted something negative and now we're having to deal with it, and we don't have a publicist, so we don't have you on 911 speed dial, what are we to do?
The first thing you should do is go back and take it down. The second thing I would advise, because this is how I live, life, is you kind of deal with the
Okay. Sorry about that. She muted herself. Okay.
But if it's something that you firmly believe in, and I'm gonna give you an example. I'm gonna use me. So, when it comes to a lot of the police killings and all of those different things, I tread lightly because of my position in the community and because of what I do across the country. of posting publicly my thoughts. But after the last two incidents that have occurred in our country, I had to post. I had to say something. And at that point, I was like, I don't care if my colleagues of other races get upset with me. This is just appalling, and I have to stay true to who I am. And so if you firmly believe in what you stand for, you know, you put your big girl panties on and we deal with it, with the consequences. You know, we may lose some people, we may lose a little business, but if it's firmly your right and you feel like you're in the right, we go through it. I always tell people, you're going to ride the wave just for a little while, just for like 5 minutes or so, and you get through it, because the only thing it's going to do, we're going to learn lessons and everything, and it's going to make you stronger. Another example would be when I did the R. Kelly case, and it's still ongoing. There was many nights that we were up working crisis management on the PR side, because it was one thing after another, one thing after another, with people coming after our clients, coming after our firm, you know, crazy fans and all of this other stuff. And so I remained calm during the whole process and like, hey, we're going to ride this wave. It's going to be over. And it's like now we don't hear anything. No one calls, but we stay consistent in how we handle things, and our business continue to grow. Our client is thriving and doing her thing, but she was new to this whole entertainment world, and she could not handle, you know, handle the things that were being thrown at her because she chose to tell her truth. And so I would say to people that do not have a publicist, once again, if you believe in what you posted, long as it's just not disrespectful, but you believe in what you posted, you stand firm on that. And just understand, you may lose some, but you're going to gain some important things as well, and stay true to who you are.
Thank you, ladies, for sharing your light on that. The next question is for Kitty. Tell, and I guess it kind of ties back with social media. It's funny how the questions are now, one question is able to be answered by two people, or all three of you guys. It's just so amazing how you guys connect. And so, Kitty, the next question is, how do you help us write? And I'm gonna say us because that includes me. I just saw how I messed up the bio. So I mean, my apologies. How do you help us write content that's grammatically correct, but it's also catchy enough? Because social media, they don't like a whole lot of long posts unless it's, you know, unless you put a disclaimer long post at the top. So how do you help us as business owners write a grammatical correct post that's also, you know, social media worthy?
Oh, that is such a broad question.
Well, just pick a part. Just pick a part.
Well, because I'm saying like, and I, you know, of course, I'm trying to post every day. I was on the call with Brooks the last time, you know, and I'm trying not to leave any spaces with the social media thing, right? So I'm trying to post something every day to make sure that people know that I'm there. And a lot of times I have to sit there and like, what can I say? What can I say? Because it depends on the topic. I'm a visual person. And so for me, I would have to see what the topic is to come up with something. And Candy, you know this well, because you can tell me something and boom, I can give you something. Or you can show me something and I can transform that whole thing for you. So that's why I say it's such a broad question, because I don't know, like.
Okay, so let's do this. I'm gonna pick a topic. I'm gonna just kind of derail from off of the question for a second. I'm gonna pick a topic and I'm gonna get all three of you ladies to give me your opinion of what I should do in your industry. So for example, I'm getting ready to make a post, and my post is gonna say, why should you support my business? So Brooks is going to tell me what I need to be posting on social media. Kitty is going to make sure I'm grammatical correct and no, you can't say that. And I'm like, ah. And then Dr. Trina is going to give me insight on, did I say that right? How was I perceived as people? So just kind of in your own words, I'm getting ready to post why you should support my business. And I kind of got a little attitude because I'm feeling like people aren't supporting me. I've been doing all this work and I've been putting all this stuff and I done bought all this stuff and nobody's supporting me. So help me.
So the first thing you should do is figure out your why. Why did you start your business? And what makes you different? Why are you passionate about the things that you're doing? And write it all down. And I know, you know, on social media, you don't always have to be grammatically correct.
Right.
That's the great thing about it. Like, you know, you can, you know, you can post the way you talk. And I like to tell people that because that's another way that you connect with people. And you talk like you're talking to your target audience. So whoever your target market is, so if my target market is Black women entrepreneurs. So, you know, us Black women, we kind of talk differently than, you know, the masses. So the way I post and the things that I'm saying is going to speak specifically to my target audience. And so the biggest thing to get people to support you is telling your story, telling your why. Why did you get started? Talking about things that you're passionate about and being transparent in that frustration. So telling people, you know, I'm a little upset because I know I'm dope at everything that I'm doing, but nobody is supporting me. And then they'll, you know, they see you and it may feel like not a lot of people are seeing you and not a lot of people are following and engaging, but they do see you. And then when the important thing is, like Kitty was saying, being consistent and consistently posting and staying top of mind. Because, you know, just because you may have, you know, financial services, I may not want it right now, but when it's time, when I'm ready to have it, I'm like, oh yeah, I know Candy does that. Let me reach out to her. So definitely staying consistent, being top of mind, being transparent in those ebbs and flows of entrepreneurship, because there's highs and there's lows, and people will appreciate, you know, you sharing those kind of things with them. And they'll feel like they're on a journey with you, and they'll, you know, be like, okay, well, let me call Candy, let me call Kitty and see, you know, how I can get started with what I'm trying to do. So.
Okay. All right. Next, Kitty.
So,
it doesn't matter.
right. So, and I agree with everything that Brooks just said, especially because I've started like the YouTube videos, right? I haven't did the live yet because I'm trying to graduate to the live by doing my recorded videos. And as I was recording one of the videos, because when I started out, I would start over and over because, oh, I messed up and I was so, and then I got to one of them and I'm like, you know what, I'm just gonna leave it exactly the way it is. And I was like, did I just say that? Like, why did I say that? I don't even know why I said that. And I got so many people to comment just on that one by saying, oh my God, I love it. You know, like it was so real. It was so, because that's what people want. They want the realness. And right, so if you're, like my target audience is just women, like Black women, white women, Asian women, it don't even matter. As long as you're a woman, that's my main target audience. And so if you don't appreciate the way I come across, because see, in different, if you look at my posts, different posts come across different ways. And so I'm trying to reach like all kind of people. And what I noticed is me staying true to who I am. I don't like my voice, and some people compliment me on my voice. I don't try to get the high voice, you know. I don't try any of that. And I have gotten my audience, look, I got people international that's following me and reading my book and things like that. Because sometimes it's not about your post as it is about your product. But I also want to say that when you're doing your posts, make sure that you're not trying to cram everything into one post. You don't have to do that. And I'm just going back to me because I have, you know, books or whatever, especially now with me promoting Ruth Ready so much. You know, I don't try to cram the whole book to people. So I might do a little bit from chapter 1 and a little bit from chapter 7 and a little bit, you know, just to kind of capture their attention. And that's what you want to just capture their attention.
All right, Dr. Trina.
It's on you.
Yeah.
So once again, I agree with my co-panelists. You gotta stay true and stay to yourself. I'm my biggest critic, so I do not like to hear myself talk, because I say I talk so country, but other people like it. And the thing is, you want to be able to relate with people that's just like you. For so long, I practiced losing my Louisiana accent to, oh, you have to be prim and proper and all of those things. And it was up until about maybe 5-6 years ago where I really found myself and who I was and began to embrace who I am. And so I believe in the power of connection, once again, through telling your story and being very transparent. And so when you're authentically yourself, then you can build your audience and people fall in love and they like you. So when I'm pitching certain clients to the media, you know, I always pick that distinct thing about them that I make sure that I place out there in the forefront, and they love it. I got one client, they book her all the time because they like to hear her laugh. She's straight to the point to herself. You know, she from Chicago. She'll tell you she's a minister, teacher, gangster, all of that. And guess what? We capitalize on all of that, and people just love her to death. And I'd be like, shoot, you can talk crazy to me, and you know, or whatever. But people love who she is, and I let her be her. You know, I let her be her. And so that's what I would say to you. Be you, do you. Remember, long as you're consistent, as long as you're not doing anything that's going to defame your character, as long as you keep good values and good morals, I'm good. I wouldn't bother you. Now, if I go on your social media page, I see something you done posted, I'm like, okay, before I get a phone call, I need you to take this down or do this, you know. So, but continue to be true to you.
So Brooke, thank you, Dr. Trina. Thank you, Kitty, and thank you, Brooke, for that information. So Brooke, I'm gonna watch the replay so I can take my notes, but I pray that you all are taking notes out there. Put your questions in the chat so that we can get to your questions. So Brooke, my next question is to you. I have heard all three of you ladies tell us to be consistent. That's been like the #1 word. So in the social media world, what is being consistent? What does that mean? Give me a breakdown of what consistent means.
So with everything, with social media, you have to start with a plan. So if you don't, consistency doesn't necessarily mean posting every day. It can mean posting every other day. It could mean once a week. It's just what is feasible for where you are right now. So if you know you are trying to run your business and it's only you and you don't really have that much time to post or even engage, because you can, you know, take an hour and schedule posts, but another big piece of it is engaging with people when they're, you know, commenting and liking and things. So if you know you don't really have that much time, then I wouldn't stress out over trying to post every day. I would, you know, start with every other day or maybe, you know, 2-3 times a week, just to get yourself used to posting and being and checking. I've talked to some clients who haven't even checked their inbox and they have messages, you know, on Facebook from people, and they're like, oh my God, I never even look in here, and people are reaching out to them. So it's like getting yourself used to being on social media, checking your inbox, checking your messages, engaging in people. And even if that means so you creating, I like to do monthly calendars. So you creating a calendar for the month. If you have a promotion going on, like the book, like that Kitty is promoting right now. So like she said, she's taking snippets from chapters and promoting the book, and that is perfect. But when people are talking and engaging, you're talking back and you're engaging with them, blocking out time on your calendar to do that. You don't have to, like, if somebody comments, you don't have to, like, as soon as they comment, go ahead and comment. You can say, okay, from 3 to 5, I'm going to reply to any comments or messages or things that I have, you know, so that's okay too. But the biggest thing is just creating your own schedule, whatever works for you, and in the time that you have during the day, and sticking to that. And then you can increase, as you get more comfortable.
Okay. So Dr. Trina, in meaning and being consistent, you're a publicist, so you're dealing with the public view of your clients and how your client is projecting themselves in the public. So what being consistent be consistent of who they are at home and then who they are in the public eye. So for me, for example, I'm very professional. And when I'm out dealing with clients, when you're dealing with money, you got to just be professional. People, and then a lot of times when they see me at home, they'll say, "Oh, I didn't realize you were this much fun." And I'm like, "Yeah, I can." I don't know. My kids say I'm not as funny. I think I'm funny. So anyway, but in the public, I don't act the same way I would at home in the comfort of my home. But I'm still the same person, but I'm not going to be goofy like I am at home with my kids as I would in public. So kind of, is that the same as not being consistent, or am I just changing hats?
You wearing different, I call them masks. You wearing different masks. And so you have to remember that you can be professional in public, but still have fun. I still have a good time in public. It's just certain things that I wouldn't do. So if my girlfriends and I were getting together, because I always have my business hat on, because I don't know who's gonna show up, who I'm gonna have the opportunity to meet. So I just watch what I do. I watch my surroundings. If I want to have a glass of wine, I have a glass of wine. But if we take a picture, we're not taking pictures with glasses of wine all in the picture. But yeah, you can still have fun and be professional at the same time, because I like to eat, talk, and just have a good time. I don't want to be in the work mode 24/7. But if you're going out and you got some friends that might be a little ratchet, yes, I said ratchet, that might not be the friends that you want to go out with. Because you got to keep in mind, if you go out and you just an innocent bystander and you get caught up in the situation and the media goes crazy with pictures and stuff, that means I got to get up out my bed. And when I get up out my bed, guess what? That costs you every time. So not only does it cost you your reputation, but it costs you financially as well. And all it takes is one little negative thing to do like a whole 360-degree turn on what you have worked so hard to build up. With some of my clients, they can't go out and have a good time because of their celebrity status. And so I try to build an environment for them where they can feel very comfortable to be themselves without being judged, so much, so they can feel as comfortable as they can in public.
Okay.
So.
All right. So Kitty, the next question is for you, and I know I got to unmute you. Next question is for you. When writing a book, for example, I'm gonna use myself for example. I'm probably one of the worst clients when it comes to that, because I'm so busy, and I got my notebook here, and I got my notes on my phone, I got the stuff I called you and told you about. I got all these ideas. So how do I pull it all together and at least just get started?
Well, because I'm a book strategist, I'm going to say that you're not going to pull it all together. You're just going to put it all in a box or all in an envelope, and you're going to give it to me, and you're going to let me do it.
Okay, so I can stop racking my brains and pulling my hair out.
Well, you've been knowing that before anybody else that asked that question. You don't have to pull your hair out. I tell people all the time, you don't need to have it all together. I've tried for a short period of time the ghostwriting, but I find that I work better when you give me some stuff, and it might not be in any kind of order, but I can put it in the order that it needs to be. And of course, I may add some stuff and let you know, hey, look at this. You know, I think this is important, or I think you need to remove this, you know, that kind of stuff. And so for me, I have this gift where I could just put stuff together. You know, you could give me something on a little sticky note and say, I don't know where this goes, but I want this in the book. And I could, you know, like, it's like a puzzle for me, and I can just put it all together.
So we're gonna ask our listening audience. I'm gonna take 3 questions. So if anyone would like to ask a question, raise your hand or press the question button or put it in the chat so that I can unmute you so that you can ask your question for any one of our panelists. And then after we take the question, I am going to let you ladies tell us a little bit about your company before we end. So anyone has a question? Don't everybody raise their hand or signal all at the same time. Okay, Miss Anjanita, let's hear from you. Miss Anjanita Jordan, she was one of our panelists on our very first one. So let me find your name. I got you. Go ahead, Miss Anjanita.
Good evening. My question is for Miss Kitty Arceneaux. Is there a time frame? I've spoken with you, and you told me it didn't all have to be together. I've been jotting down different things, but is there a time frame? Should I be beating myself up because it's been 4 months or it's been 6 months and I don't have all of this together yet? Or is this just a process over however long it may take? That's my question.
Okay.
Because I think if I wait too long, I'm overthinking. But is that true?
Most times it is true. Okay. I don't know what I don't know what type of book that you're trying to write. If it's like a personal book or something to do with your business. I find that when people are,
It's a personal book.
Right. And so you don't, it's your story. So you don't have to overthink. But I know sometimes people say, should I put this in there? Or should I take this out of there? Am I saying too much about this situation? Am I not saying enough about that situation? Because look, you can actually write a book in 30 days. Like I talk to people and they say, I've been working on this book. How long you been working on a book? Oh, 3 years. It's your life and it's taken 3 years to, to tell somebody about your life. Look, I wrote Ruth Ready in probably 60 days. And the reason why it took me 60 days is because I was arguing with the Lord because I didn't want to write the book, because now people are going to look at me and think I have this perfect marriage, even though, before they even pick up the book, because in the book, I'd be very transparent that, hey, I need to be Ruth Ready too. But I was arguing with the Lord so much, that's why it took me 60 days. And because I had to do some research and things like that. But when you're doing a book about your life, it shouldn't take you 3 to 5 to 7 years. And I think because people, they're like, I don't know how people are going to receive it. So that's what takes them even longer to write it.
Yeah, I really appreciate the comments about writing about things that happen and the people. That things that happened with me were not sexual abuse or anything, but they were abuses, that things that hurt me. So that was a great. I thank you all for sharing. If you should say certain things, if you should go to the people, the liability. So I appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay. All right, any other questions from anyone? We have Ms. Brooks, who's social media strategist, digital marketer. Then we have Dr. Trina, executive producer and publicist. And we have Kitty Arceneaux, author. So what I want to do at this time, I want to go over the foundation real quick, and then I want each of you ladies to tell us a little bit about your business and how you can help us with our businesses. Because mostly everyone that's on here, this project is geared towards small business and entrepreneurs. So I'm going to give each of you a chance to tell us how you can assist us. Now we do have an incoming question. It says, how do you find a PR person or a rep who knows and promotes you as opposed to someone who thinks, hold on, let me read the question. Dr. Trina, I believe this question is for you. How do you find a PR person?
So, oh, go ahead.
No, I was just reading it out of the chat. I didn't know if you saw it or not.
Oh, let me see. You know, look, I got to get used to looking. I should know by now how to view all this.
Hey, I'm embracing the Zoom generation because I have been trying to get clients to get on Zoom, and so now everybody is forced to, so I'm excited.
Oh. Yeah, so I want to tell people, when you're looking for a PR rep, look for a PR rep in the field that your product or your brand is in. I know a lot of great PR reps, but if you are in the mode of speaking and you're doing motivational speaking and coaching, you should not get someone who is a great PR rep, but they're a great PR rep in the fashion industry. So they're great in fashion, that's their specialty. So when you're researching for PR reps, make sure you get with a PR rep that represents your brand, what it is that you have. Make sure that they have a proven track record. And just because they have a proven track record, you can't get upset if they cannot. We get this a lot, is that, oh, and I'm going to give you, I have one man every day. He's blowing me up. I need you to represent. Every time he see my clients on Good Morning America or wherever they are, he's blowing up my inbox or calling me, texting me. I need you to represent me. Just because you may see one of our clients on Good Morning America, Al Sharpton, MSNBC, all of those things, that does not mean that we can get you on there. Because even if we have a relationship, and this industry is all about relationships. You could be the baddest of the bad, but sometimes if you don't have the right connection, the right person to get you in the door, you're not going to get in the door, no matter how great you are. And so you got to make sure that you look for, who is my PR people connected to? And it's okay to do that. Who are they connected to? What do I bring to the table where that will help them get me in the door as well? So those are some of the main things that you have to look at. And sometimes we got to start off small and work our way all the way up. I have a young lady, somebody reached out to me, oh, I want you to get her on national syndicated talk show for an interview. Well, she's great. She's fabulous. But guess what? If you haven't done anything on a local level, I didn't have any footage. I didn't have anything to send. And she missed the opportunity of, getting placed on that talk show. Another thing is that, once again, how I say consistency and just being ready. I do a photo shoot every 3 months. I'm not saying that you should do that, but I do a photo shoot every 3 months to keep my brand up to date and consistent. And I don't just do like the same type of photo shoot. I do different things. Sometimes I do family shoots. Sometimes I do shoots of us in the office and we're working, because how I got Essence Magazine, first of all, was a relationship. It was happenstance. I just happened to be at the right place at the right time, having a conversation. And it kind of goes back to, what's your 60-second pitch? You got to be ready at all times. You got to know how to carry yourself in person. I just happened to be talking to one of the editors at Essence Magazine, and she was saying, it was a group of us, and she was saying, oh, I can't find any couples for this article that's in business together. And so one of my friends said, you got Dr. Trina and her husband. You know, the girl never thought about it. And she gave me a list of stuff right there on the spot. And guess what? I went to my phone, and everything that she asked for, I had access to it, and I emailed it to her. Somebody else was there and was like, I want to be in on the article too, but they did not have everything that they needed, and they missed that opportunity. And so once again, you could do this PR thing for yourself, and I don't mind consulting with you. And then you can also hire a PR rep, but be very careful when you hire a PR rep, because you want to make sure someone that's going to look out for your best interest. My clients think I'm their mama, you know, because everything, some of them older than me, but everything has to go through me. They don't make a move without me or somebody from my firm guiding them. And I get referrals all the time, but I tell people the thing that sets us apart is that we're very hands-on. And second of all, if you do not need PR, I'm going to tell you you do not need PR. You may just need someone to mentor you. You just may need someone to guide you through the process, because how I got into PR was that I started doing it for myself. I started doing it for myself, and then I started doing it for my music clients who couldn't afford to hire a PR rep, and the doors just begin to open. Relationship. Be careful of how you treat people. Relationship. So
Yeah, and that's one of my big words, relationships. I believe that everything that we do, whether it's in business or personal, it is predicated upon relationships. You have to have a connection with people, because if I'm selling a product, I have to have a client that will purchase it. If I'm doing a service, I have to have someone to service it for. So the relationship factor is very, very, very key. So what I want to do, I want to give each of you ladies to give us your 60-second pitch. You know, tell us what it is that you do. How can we reach you? You can even type it in the chat if you want to give us your email address or your website. I find a lot of times put that in writing so people can read it. So tell us what it is that you do. How can you service us, and how can we get in touch with you? We'll go ahead and we'll start with Brooks, then we'll get with Miss Kitty, and then we'll end with Dr. Trina, and then I'll come back and tell you guys about the foundation.
So my business is Duplessis Digital Productions. I specialize in digital marketing and content creation, so it's more content marketing. So I do a lot of social media consulting, but it's really social media as a tool to market your business and drive people over to your website, because your website is really where you want people to be, because that's how you're going to sell your business and how you're going to convert them into clients. So how do you use social media? How do you use online methods as a tool to drive people to your website and then convert them into paying customers? So that's my main thing that I do at Duplessis Digital. I do consulting. I also do, full service. So if you want to use me as like a coach, I can coach you through it if you want to do it yourself, or I can do full service as well. I'll put my website and email in the chat, but it's duplessisdigital.com, and then the email is info@duplessisdigital.com.
Thank you, Brooks. All right, Miss Kitty.
I am Kitty Arceneaux, and I am a book strategist. So what I do is I help people, especially first-time authors, first-time writers, to write their first book. I can gather your information, put it all together, get you a product out there, and move forward.
Yay, yay. All right, Dr. Trina.
Okay, so Kitty sounds like she would be a publishing company. So that's my feedback to Kitty. She sounds like that she may be a publishing company. And the reason I ask that is because we partner with other businesses on, to collaborate on projects, because I believe in that my firm cannot do everything. So we have 3 companies. So we have the management and PR firm, which is Full Corp Media and Business Consulting Group. And so we specialize in doing luxury public.
Okay. All right. We lost Dr. Trina, but that's okay. She will dial back in first, and then, oh, there she is. Okay, there she is. All right. Okay.
So I don't know where I left off at. Okay, you see me?
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't know where I left off, but with Bookport Media, it's a luxury boutique firm that specializes in public relations, media, and consulting in the entertainment industry and for small businesses. And so what we do is we love to collaborate with other companies, including the other 2 companies that we run, because we believe in that we cannot do everything ourselves. And so what we can't do, I always refer out to other individuals. So Kitty, I would like to follow up with you. And then Brooks, I want to run a project by you to see if it's something that's in your capacity that you can assist me with. And Candy, we already work with you. Oh my God, you just lifted a 8-year weight off of us when we started working with you. So I want to tell you thank you for that. I want you to send me.
She was giving me praise and accolades, so I'm gonna finish it up. No, I'm just joking. Go ahead, Dr. Trina. And that's what happens with technology. Hold on, let me make sure I have it unmuted.
Oh, yeah, the devil is just busy because the devil has just kicked me out. But what
we're going to allow you more time to finish the accolade part that you were giving. No.
Yes. So Brooks, I don't know if you heard me. I want to run a project by you, so you can get my contact information from Candy on social media on something I need some help with. So if it's in your capacity, I would love to work with you. And then Kitty, of course, I can make some referrals to you for clients that come to us that may need help with their book projects, and we don't have the capacity to do it. I always love to refer business. And I told you, Candy, for what you have done to help us, make sure I get your nonprofit information so we can make a donation to you today, just to show our love and appreciation, because I know what you do all this for free, and you do not have to do this. And so we want to be able to sow a seed into you, because you have blessed our family so much by working with us. So I think that's my spiel. If my husband had something to say, he could jump in and say, but it was great.
I think he's unmuted. Attorney Sean, did I unmute? Okay, there you are.
Yeah, I'm here. Look, today is her day. I had last week.
Yes, sir. Okay, so great. So just know that Attorney Sean is on here. He's licensed to practice in Texas, but if you're outside of Texas and you're looking for any type of services, legal services, you can still maybe reach out. He can maybe connect you with someone that he can give a good referral to. So I recommend Attorney Sean, and we do have a couple other people that are on here.
Anything with intellectual property, trademarks, anything on the federal level, he can take care of that for you.
Great. And see, the intellectual property and the trademark, and it all ties into our social media, into our book, into our publishing. So everything is full circle. And I want to give a shout out to Miss Felicia. She is on here. She is coming up. I think her day is on June the 3rd or June the 3rd. So she's next. Yeah. She's
Pass
next
my
week.
chicken salad.
Yes. You know, so I'm gonna have to make this a requirement before you can air. You have to ship me some food.
I
And
think with Felicia, she should be like a live thing. We could social distance because she has to bring us some food. See,
yeah.
everybody get chicken salad. Everybody get, you know.
Yeah. Okay, so she's unmuted. So guys, I want to tell you real quick. One of our she has nominated one of our donors for the month of May. She tell us a little bit about the organization that we're going to. We have a way you can buy a meal this month for one of the frontline workers. So Felicia, just pretend we're all on the front line or some type of front line and get us some food too. So I've unmuted you. So we put you in.
Yeah, I had to unmute myself because I was mute on purpose. But I'm working with Soul Reborn right now. I work with Dr. Catrina's organization as well. But I'm working with Soul Reborn. God placed it on her heart to service 1,000 frontline workers being in the health department. So we've been going to she wants to target the at-risk areas like Parkland and all that, because that hospital is the community hospital. So because of the number, we had to get more people in. So God then told her to go up to 2,000 folks. So I was like this, because I'm the chef doing it, and I'm doing all the cooking myself, and I'm delivering and buying supplies. When they send me whatever funds they have, and through my little turkey trot, I'm doing the turkey legs. I'm actually.
We don't want to hear about it. We can't have none.
Whatever. But so I'm just trying to assist them, and when you go in there, the spirits of the individuals who are actually sacrificing in the medical community. If you know that meal, I've lived so many people grab me, and I'm like, yo, COVID, social distancing, but they are excited about what they receive, and as police officers, and we've been feeding police. I think I'm at 500 and something now total fed, so I keep on trying to knock the number down. But every Tuesday is when we're actually feeding them until we have 2,000 individuals fed, and I keep a tally of how many we're at. So I give them a full meal. It's not like I'm bringing them one sandwich and a bag of chips. I'm actually taking them pasta, salad. They got dessert. They got my dessert, vegetables. But we're trying to make sure they we lift their spirits. And Miss Cheryl Polo Williamson is actually blessing them with books. So I have books that I have to take to the hospital, because she's actually gifting books through her personal to just lift their spirit. So Soul Reborn is who I'm working with right now for this project for COVID. And you can find them on soulreborn.org.
All right, well, thank you. Chef Felicia will be joining us. She will be one of our guest panelist experts on next week. And so I'm sure we have a lot of questions for her. So prayerfully she'll ship us a taste of something. I don't know, a cupcake or something. We can split it 4 or 5 ways. I don't know, work it out for us.
I got cheesecake.
Yes. Well, I don't know, I might not want to share that. But anyway, Dr. Trina, we absolutely thank you. We thank you and your husband both for sharing your time with us. We thank Kitty Arceneaux for motivating all of us with our books that we have been sitting on for 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 years. She just gave us the solution. Just pack it all in a bag and just give it to her and walk away, and then let her bring us back a finished product. Book is going to help us get our social media game on. I like to say a lot of the younger generation, they're winning at this, but that doesn't mean that we can't succeed too. So get with Brooks, and they put their contact information in there. And I want to tell you guys a little bit about the legacy, the AK Legacy Foundation. We launched our website a couple of weeks ago. I'm asking everyone, go visit the website, check it out. We have videos, we have blogs, we have everything that you need to answer your questions. I even have a little short video that I put on there this morning. We are accepting donations. We have our donation link is there. I want to thank Kitty Arceneaux for designing our flyer, the flyer that you see here on the screen. She did our informational flyer for us. So that is something else that she does. She takes all my little pieces of paper and she makes it a flyer. And So I want to thank her for that. That is a part of some of the things that we do here at the foundation. If you're a small business owner and you need a certain product or service, or you need something done and you're a startup or you have been in business, we can help you rebrand yourself either by directly offering you the services through our foundation or giving you a referral to someone that can better assist you. The whole purpose of the foundation is to make sure that the small businesses stay thriving, that we stay in business, especially during this time of pandemic, where a lot of small businesses are seeing that they're having to rebrand themselves because they didn't even have a website. So our whole mission is to keep us alive. We know that if it wasn't for the small businesses, there are a lot of things that would not be taking place here in America. Most of it, if not all of it, rests upon the shoulders of those of us that are entrepreneurs, small business owners. We have a division just for children. So if you have a youth that is passionate about something that they do, let's transform that and make that a business. This is not just a hobby, it is their God-given gift, and it is something that will make room for them. It is something that will be a revenue stream for them. It could be something small, lemonade stand. Let us help your youth take that to the next level. We also have something for men, women, boys, and girls, doesn't matter. It's our MED program where we give you training. If you want to learn more about a certain topic, we'll get the educational materials to you. A lot of the courses we have that we'll upload on the website where you can just watch the tutorial yourself, or we'll partner you with someone that's in our organization that can train you to give you the information that you need to succeed. And then of course, we have our Women in Business organization. Yay! I am excited about that. We have been rocking and rolling and having so much fun with that. The membership, all the membership dues go back into the AK Legacy Foundation. We also take one-time donations. We take monthly donations, however you want to do it. And if you want to volunteer, if you have an expertise or a skill set that you would like to do a 30-minute teaching on for us to broadcast it to our audience, or anything that you would like to contribute, let us know. Go to our website, visit the website. I'm asking everyone, go to the website, subscribe, follow us, give us a comment, give us your feedback, just whatever. And I just fully embrace it. It's something that is dear to my heart. I've been in business since 1999, and I've done a lot of things like Dr. Catrina said at no cost. It is no cost to someone, but it's a fee and a cost to me. So, but I love what I do. But I was given the education. It was tapped on my shoulder. Hey, you need to develop a foundation, and the company that we use is ran by Courtney Elsie. She is really good and phenomenal. So if you're looking for someone to help you with your nonprofit, I can definitely give you Courtney's information. And so we just love you all. We thank everyone for taking the time. I know we're a little over, but hey, we love to talk, us Louisianians. So if you're across the country, if you're up north or out west, just learn. When you're talking to Southern people, we love to talk. We're very hospitable. And so I want to thank our panelists for taking the time to come out and join us today, get their information, reach out to them, send them an email, ask them your question. But I do ask that everyone patronize the foundation either by just visiting the page and subscribing, giving a donation, or just volunteering, just whatever you can do. Everything doesn't have to be monetary, but share the website, tell your friends and coworkers about it. And we are a registered 501c3, which means that at the end of the year, you will get a tax donation slip. And we all know that we can use those tax write-offs, especially those of us that are in small business for ourselves. So if nothing further, we will conclude our session for today. The replay will be ready on tomorrow so that you can either later today or tomorrow, it'll be on the website, on the Legacy website. It will be also on the Martin Business Solution website, and it'll also be on the YouTube channel at Candy Martin. So we ask that you share it, and I look forward to seeing you guys next week. Don't forget, next Wednesday at 11 a.m. And then our last one will be June the 10th at 11 a.m. And then from there, the experts will be once a month. So take full advantage of it. You never know who's going to be on. You never know. We have the answers to your question. You guys have a great day.